Good morning, brothers and sisters. It is 9:58 a.m. Central Standard Time on March 21st, 2022. I hope our Creator is keeping you well and safe wherever you are in the world. Please make sure to hit that like button, share this across other platforms, and subscribe if you're new. We are starting off here at spaceweather.com, and I am Jacob of Ephraim. It looks like we're going to be getting another glancing blow from a CME, and it looks like we're going to be getting it on the 23rd, apparently. Now, we do have a little bit of excitement going on, but let me show you what I'm talking about here. We're going to come on over here to Space Weather Prediction Center at NOAA.gov. We'll just get off this guy here, and this is what I'm talking about here. Let me show you a little bit of excitement. This right here is our D region absorption prediction, okay? And as we take a look at this, we'll actually see protons that had left from a coronal mass ejection. Look at that. Start exciting coming into the north and southern pole regions. See that? It's pretty interesting how that works, isn't it? It just kind of flashes back and forth and it gets a little bit red like that. Yeah, those are protons that are coming in at our poles. Now, what causes that, right? This is nothing to freak out or panic about by any means, but what causes this kind of activity? Well, I'm going to show you. Let's get started. I'm going to come over here and we're going to look at spaceweatherlive.com, and we're going to take a notice at these black and white lines here. These black and white lines are actually our magnetic lines that keep us connected to the sun. All of our planets have it, even some of our satellites, they have this. There's a magnetic connection line that keeps us connected to the sun. Okay, so you see this big flare that kicked off the backside. Now this is the Earth right here. Okay, and this is the sun, so that flare kicked off the backside, not aiming at us. Thank goodness. That would have affected us for sure. Now what happens is that the other day there was a pop, and it actually ended up going in a direction that was off this way. Now granted, it went away from us, but from its location, it was actually connected to our geomagnetic line. So what it did is those protons, because it went out, it actually rode the line, our geomagnetic line, right to our planet. And that's why we are seeing this. Okay, now to get back over here, let me show you what we're talking about here. Now we're going to look over here at stereo ahead. It's seeds, okay? Now this right here is Mercury, so there's no need to panic on, ooh, what's that? At first it got my attention, and then I went over and I'll show you on planets today, but let's go on the CME. Oop, it's going the wrong way. There we go. Now as you can see the explosion coming off, right? Well, when it comes off in a certain direction, what it does is it will actually ride down, like I was saying. Oop, wrong one. It'll ride this line, and that's what gives us this. So this is nothing to panic about. If you guys happen to go and you see it, we are perfectly fine. This is actually going to create some auroras. So if you're an aurora watcher, by all means, I hope that you get out and you get some really good photos, because if it's nighttime for you, you're on a great position right now. Now, coming back to here, where I was seeing this bugger right here, when I saw it, I was like, man, what is that thing? So, and what I do is I have to look at the planets. And here we are at planets today. And here's the Earth, and here's the sun, and here's Mercury. Now, when we come back over here and we look, we can see that it's actually going from right to left. Let me hit start again. We can see that it's going from right to left, right? Well, what's going to go right to left? Well, as we look over here, and if we advance it, it's going from right to left. See? So that is actually Mercury that we're looking at, folks. And we can actually take a look at it from another perspective. And so what I did is I came over here to Solar System Scope, and we can take a look at it again. And as we can see, what's moving from right to left? Mercury. Mercury is moving out of the way, and it's on the sun. Now, we do not actually exist on a complete level plane like this shows us, looking like everything is straight, along the equatorial plane. That's not true. We actually go up, we actually move up and down, just like this with the sun. So, as we're being dragged through space, you gotta think, imagine us like ping pongs, and remember that geomagnetic line that's connecting us that I showed you guys? This, let's see right here. This thing right here, okay? And you see how it's kind of moving around from the shock? You see those lines? Well, imagine that like that string that's connected to us, and we're like ping pongs. So we're going to actually go up and down. Okay, we're not going to be just hover here. We're actually going to be moving up and down at different rates of speed, depending on how large or how fast we're moving through space. So that's something that we also have to keep in mind. So Mercury is actually below the sun, as we saw right here. This is Mercury, and he's coming around to go behind the sun. He's just down here at the moment. The next time that we see him, heck, in fact, he may not even stay straight. He could actually wind up going up at an angle like this, just depending on the rotation. So now back over here to Space Weather Prediction Center.noaa.gov. We are looking at University of Michigan geospace model for our geospace magnetosphere cut planes for our pressure. Okay, and this is a good indicator of when we get impacted by coronal mass ejections or plasma filaments or solar winds. We'll actually see the increase on our bow shock here, and as you can see, we've got all of our magnetic shields in place, if you will, layered up, and then of course we've got our back pressure. Now, as we're going through, we can see that really the impact that we had is just, look at that, it's just a little poof. Like, that's all that it was. I mean, that was almost as equivalent as somebody just going whoosh, and just kind of blowing in your face a little bit. That really wasn't much of anything. So we should be doing all right, folks. So remember, keep your eyes open, no fear, and remember that love is the only way forward.